Okay, today we are learning about the properties of numbers, and we're going to use them to help find answers. So, the commutative property says that you can add numbers in any order and you can multiply numbers in any order. Okay, so like 3 plus 8 is the same as 8 plus 3. You're going to get 11. Or 5 times 7 is the same as 7 times 5. You're going to get 35. The associative property says when you add or multiply, you can group the numbers together in any combination. Okay, so you can have, I'm going to write an example for this one, 4 plus 5 in parentheses plus 1, or you can have 1 plus 4 plus 5. Even though you're doing an order of operations, you're going to get 10 either time. And the same goes with multiplication because we can add or multiply in any order. The identity property says that when you add 0 to any number, you will not change the value. 4 plus 0 is 4. You did not change the value of 4. Or if you multiply any number by 1, you do not change the value. 8 is the same as 8 times 1. Okay? And then we have the distributive property, which allows us to multiply numbers and add them in order to make it easier to find the answer. There's not a real clear-cut definition. It's just a way to break numbers apart to make them easier to add and multiply. So, we're going to look at our examples now and see what properties are being used and how we know that. So, 2 times 6 is in parentheses times 1 equals 2 times 6 times 1. And in this time, the 6 and the 1 are in parentheses. Now, those numbers are just regrouped in parentheses. We're going to get the same answer no matter how they're grouped. That looks like the associative property to me because of the example above. And if you had your definition, it would be that we can regroup addition and multiplication and not change the value of the answer. The next one says 3 plus 0 is 3, and 3 plus 0 is 3. And the sum of 3 and what is 3? The sum of 3 and 0 is 3. So that is the identity property, because the identity property says we can add 0 to any number, and we do not change the value of that number. 3 is 3, whether you add 0 to it or not. Okay, and that last one says 7 plus 9 equals 9 plus 7. Now, all we're doing is changing the order of the numbers. So we're going to say that it's switched, because we just switched it up. And that falls under the commutative property, because the commutative property says I can add or multiply in any order and get the same answer. So for these problems, we are going to try and make it easier to do the math by reordering, by using what we know about our properties. So if we're going to look at some numbers, we want to reorder 21, 16, and 9 so that's easier to add in our head without having to do any extra work. So the first thing I always try to do is see if there's two numbers that when you add them, the ones place is 0. So it adds up to a tens place, like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So if I look at those numbers, I see 21 and I see 9. Those add up to 30. So what I want to do is I want to put those together. Okay, and then I'm going to put the other number out here. And all I did was I switched two numbers. Instead of 21 plus 16, I have 16 plus 21. So that is the commutative property. I'm just going to put COMM for commutative. Now, I want to make sure that I add 21 plus 9 first, because that's going to give me 30, which is a number that's easy to add to. So if you see, they put the parentheses around that, and because I added parentheses, that's the associative property. Okay? Then I'm going to follow the order of operations. 21 plus 9 is 30. And then I'm going to add and get 46. So the next problem says 20 times 9 times 5. Well, if I know my multiplication facts decently, I know that any number times 5 is pretty easy to figure out. And if I can still try to make my ones place a 0, it's going to help out a lot. 20 times 9. I could figure that out, and I could know it's 180, but 20 times 5 is 100, because 2 times 5 is 10, and we add a 0. So I'm going to just want to switch these around so I can multiply 20 times 5 times 9. And because I just switched two places, that's my commutative property. Now I want to make sure I multiply 20 and 5 first, so I'm going to put parentheses around, which creates the associative anytime I add those parentheses, and then I'm going to follow the order of operations. 20 times 5 is 100, and 100 times 9 is 900. So really all you're doing is you're switching numbers in order to make it easier to do the mental math. Now I could do 20 times 9 and get 180, and 180 times 5 and get 900. It would be the same thing. However, 180 times 5 is not just something I know. Okay, 45 times 20 is not just something I know. 20 times 9 might not just be something you know. However, 20 times 5 probably is, and it gives you 100. And then when you multiply anything times 100, that's fairly easy to do in your head. So now we have the distributive property. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to separate the number in parentheses into two numbers. Okay? And what we want is we want to rewrite 54 as 50 and 4, because we want to go see 54. We want to change the ones number to a 0 and keep the tens place the same. So if I change 54 to exactly what I just said, the ones is a 0, and then 50, the tens place stays the same, I get 50. Okay, but I have to know what I need to add to get back to 54, and that is 4. So I'm going to have 50 here. Now we're going to write 50 first and 4 here. Okay, because I still need to have 54 inside the parentheses or it changes the problem. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 6 by each number. I'm going to multiply 6 by 50, and then I'm going to multiply 6 by 4. Now we're going to use the distributive property, because remember I said the distributive property broke down numbers in order to make them easier to multiply and divide. So 6 times 50 is 300. 6 times 4 is 24. And 300 plus 24 is 324. Now I can do most of that, or all of it, in my head, because I've made the problem easier to solve. There is a second method where instead of keeping 54 and keeping the tens place a 5, we can make the tens place go up 1 and still replace the 1 spot with a 0. Okay, so I can have 60, but if my number here is bigger than my starting number, I need to minus to get back to my starting number, and I need to minus 6 from it. So we would have 60 in our first spot. Oops. To figure out a way where it doesn't mess up my screen. And 6 in my second spot. So then we use the distributive property. and all of a sudden my pen is not writing well. That says distributive. And we bring down our two numbers. We bring down our 60 and we bring down our 6. And then we multiply. 6 times 60 is 360 minus 6 times 6 is 36. And we get 324. So you get 324 either way. I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, just my opinion, the first method we did, where we added, is a little bit easier because adding is just easier than subtracting. It's just the way most people's work. So you need to do those 3 problems below in no more than 5 minutes, and make sure you get them checked so you know whether you have questions or not.